The idea of detoxing has become very popular in the last decade. People are going to extreme measures to get rid of toxins that they think are inside of their body. But what your body really needs may not be what you think. Hi, I'm an ENT surgeon and author of 2 books about living a better life through better breathing. I make videos that help you get to the top of your lungs so you can climb to the top of your game. Today, we're going to talk about detox myths and facts. What is your body really trying to tell you? Let's dive right in. First of all, let me start by saying your body already detoxifies itself. You don't need to buy special detox teas or cleanse programs or fasting programs to help you detoxify. Your body already does it. It happens via 3 main organs: your liver, your kidneys, and your skin. So these are the organs that you should focus on helping to support and maintain. When we talk about removing toxins from our body, this is what we mean. We mean giving these organs the support they need in order to do their job. So what does the liver do? Well, the liver filters toxins out of the blood. It neutralizes them so that they're no longer harmful, and it excretes them either into the intestines where they're pooped out of the body, or in the bile, which ends up eventually getting to the small intestine and being excreted through the body. Kidneys filter the blood, but they also concentrate toxins and then excrete them as urine. So you're literally flushing toxins out of the body when you urinate. And finally, the skin is another way that we excrete toxins. We sweat when we're hot, or we exercise. And we actually eliminate toxins through our skin in the form of sweat. So these are the main organs that you want to support. There are certain things that we can do to help support the function of the liver, the kidneys, and the skin. So first of all, eating a healthy diet. What is a healthy diet? Well, that's going to be different for everybody. And if you haven't seen my video on how to pick a diet that works for you, I highly recommend that you check it out after this one, because it will help you understand how to pick the diet that's going to work best for you. But generally speaking, a healthy diet is going to be one that is low in processed foods. So white flour, white sugar, high fructose corn syrup, things like that. We also want to avoid trans fats, so partially hydrogenated oils, things like margarine. We want to avoid foods that have saturated fats in excess, so fatty meats and full-fat dairy. Now that doesn't mean you have to avoid all saturated fats. It just means you can't have excess of them. Then, of course, we want to avoid things that are inflammatory to the body. So that would include alcohol, nicotine, and anything that causes you allergies. That might be something unique to you. For some people, it's gluten. For other people, it's dairy. For other people, it's soy. Find out what it is that creates inflammation in your body and avoid it. These are the types of things that you want to avoid in a diet if you want to help support the liver. Now, drinking enough water is also important for supporting the liver. In fact, the liver cannot function well unless you're well hydrated. So you want to drink enough water during the day to keep your urine clear. If your urine is clear, that means you're well hydrated. You don't want it to be so diluted that it's colorless. You want it to have a little bit of color, but it shouldn't be dark yellow or amber in color. If it is, that means you're dehydrated and you need to drink more water. So drink plenty of water during the day to support liver function. The next thing you can do to support your liver is to limit your intake of acetaminophen or Tylenol. This medication is very popular. A lot of people take it for headaches and for dental pain. But taking too much of it or taking it for too long can damage your liver. So if you're going to take it, follow the directions on the bottle. Don't take more than the recommended dose. Don't take it for longer than the recommended duration. If you're going to use it for a headache, combine it with rest and fluids and see if that helps your headache go away faster. Sometimes people just keep taking it over and over again, sometimes even for days on end, thinking that it's going to make the pain go away faster, but that can damage your liver, so use it judiciously. Finally, you want to exercise regularly. Exercise supports liver function because it gets blood flowing through the liver. Blood flow is really important to the liver because it brings nutrients to the liver and it allows the liver to excrete the products of its metabolism. So, if you have poor blood flow to the liver cannot function properly. The same thing with the kidneys. If you eat a healthy diet, if you drink enough water, you're going to support kidney function. Also, if you exercise, you're going to support kidney function because you're increasing blood flow to the kidneys. Finally, don't smoke. Smoking damages the small vessels of the kidneys, and that can impair kidney function. It can lead to chronic kidney disease down the road. As far as the skin goes, exercising and sweating is a good way to detoxify. Just make sure that you replace the salt and minerals that you lose during exercise. You don't want to overexert yourself to the point where you're dangerously dehydrated. So, if you are going to do any prolonged or strenuous exercise, make sure that you have electrolyte powder or electrolyte drink to replace those salts and minerals that you're losing in your sweat. That will help you rehydrate properly. Other things that people do to detox that are potentially harmful are cleanses, detox diets, fasting, where you're not eating for long periods of time, or taking large amounts of supplements, especially herbal supplements that claim to detoxify the body. There's really no evidence behind many of these cleanses. They may have been around for a long time, but there's really no scientific evidence that shows that they work or that they improve health outcomes. And in some cases, they may even be harmful. For example, some of these detox teas or laxatives. If you're using them over long periods of time, you may end up damaging the normal flora of the body, especially the gastrointestinal tract. You may end up having diarrhea, cramping, and abdominal pain because you're not allowing these bacteria, these normal bacteria that live in your gut, to live in balance with other types of bacteria. So, when you start changing that balance, you can cause problems. Taking too many vitamins or too many supplements is another way that you can harm your body. For example, some people take huge amounts of vitamin C, thinking that it's going to help them detoxify, but they don't realize that vitamin C is actually excreted in the urine. So if you're taking more vitamin C than your body needs, you're just flushing it out in the urine. You're not retaining it. And in fact, you may be causing problems. For example, if you're taking large amounts of vitamin C, you may end up having more calcium in the urine, and that can lead to kidney stones. So anytime you're going to take a supplement, stick with what the recommended daily allowance is, unless you have spoken to your doctor about taking a higher amount of that supplement. Another thing that people do to detoxify that's potentially dangerous is fasting for long periods of time. Fasting isn't necessarily a bad thing. In fact, it's been shown to be beneficial for some people, but you don't want to fast for too long. If you are going to fast, make sure that you're doing it safely. What that means is that you don't want to fast for more than 24 hours. If you're going to fast for more than 24 hours, you should be doing it under the supervision of a physician. And you certainly don't want to try extreme fasting diets like the ones that you see on YouTube where people are only consuming water for weeks at a time. That is dangerous. If you do that, you're going to end up harming your body. You're going to impair your immune system. You're going to slow down your metabolism. So anytime you do anything related to fasting or dieting, you want to make sure that you're doing it in moderation and you're doing it safely. Finally, you want to make sure that you're getting enough sleep. Sleep supports the immune system, and a strong immune system is a detoxified immune system. You want to make sure that you're getting enough rest because that's when a lot of the healing in the body happens. So, if you're not sleeping enough, you may find that you're more susceptible to illness. So, in summary, when it comes to detoxing, remember that your body already does it for you. You don't need to do anything extra. In fact, doing something extra may be harmful. So, focus on the basics. Eat a healthy diet. Exercise regularly. Get enough sleep. Drink plenty of water. That's really all you need to do. If you haven't seen my video on how to pick a diet that works for you, I highly encourage you to check it out. After this one, it will help you understand how to choose the right diet so that you can support your liver, your kidneys, and your skin, and ultimately detox your body the way it was meant to be detoxed. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I wish you all the best. Take care.